There's a particular kind of unease that settles in when someone casually says, "We should come by sometime," or "Let's have it at your place." A quiet tightening in your chest, a smile that doesn't quite reach your eyes. You don't hate people, you're not trying to be rude, but something about hosting, welcoming others into your carefully held space, makes you want to retreat instead of open up. Few people talk about this. The way your home can feel like an extension of your nervous system, and how having guests over can feel like giving a piece of that away. Some people find connection in entertaining. Others find disruption. If you felt that quiet discomfort, that quiet conflict between love for people and the overwhelming nature of their presence, you're not alone. You're not strange for needing your space. You're simply wired in a way that the world rarely makes room for. It's easy to wonder what's wrong with you. Why laughter around a crowded table feels like noise instead of warmth. Why the idea of visitors makes your body brace instead of soften. But here's something few people say out loud. Being uncomfortable with hosting doesn't mean you're unfriendly or distant or cold. It doesn't mean you don't care. You might care deeply about people, about peace, about keeping your environment emotionally safe. In a culture that often equates openness with constant availability, your need for privacy can be misunderstood. But it's not a flaw. It's not something broken. You're not resisting connection. You're resisting overwhelm. You're not avoiding love. You're protecting your energy. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it probably means you know yourself more honestly than most. Most people don't realize how much energy it takes to let someone into your space, not just physically, but emotionally. For some, home is more than a place. It's a buffer between the outside world and the self, a carefully crafted ecosystem of calm, predictability, and refuge. When guests arrive, that buffer collapses, and suddenly you're performing, smiling, chatting, anticipating needs, adjusting the rhythm of your day to match theirs. This isn't about disliking people. It's about the mental toll of constant self-monitoring. For highly sensitive individuals or deep introverts, every small interaction carries weight. The sound of a voice, the shift in energy, the tiny need to make things feel normal, it quietly drains you. And underneath it all, there's the fear of being trapped in a dynamic you can't easily exit. No pauses, no solitude, no quiet escape into your own thoughts. You're not just dreading a visit, you're bracing for the invisible emotional cost that comes with it. Once you understand that, it becomes easier to see your reaction as a form of self-preservation, not dysfunction, not failure, but a quiet boundary formed by knowing your emotional limits.
There's a quiet kind of strength in knowing what keeps you grounded. For some, that anchoring comes from solitude, stillness, and control over their environment. What looks like avoidance from the outside is often something much deeper. An act of self-preservation rooted in sensitivity and respect. If your home feels sacred, it's because it holds the rhythms that regulate you. The lighting, the silence, the absence of small talk, these aren't quirks, they're safeguards. Few people talk about environmental sensitivity, the way noises linger, energy clings, or disorder disrupts your inner balance. When someone enters your space, they're not just walking through your door, they're walking through your boundaries. And it's okay to want those boundaries respected. Protecting your space doesn't mean you don't want closeness. It means you value authenticity over performance. It's not selfish to need stillness. It's not rude to prefer peace. It simply means you move through the world in a deeper, quieter way, and that's worth honoring. You can love someone's presence in your life and still not want their presence in your home. That truth is softer than it sounds, but few people say it out loud. Affection doesn't always coexist with availability. For those who feel deeply, being around others can be both meaningful and draining, not because the bond is weak, but because their nervous system absorbs everything. Cultural norms don't always make room for that. In many places, hospitality is treated as a moral obligation. The more open your door, the warmer your heart. So when you close that door, even gently, it can feel like failure. But love doesn't always need to be proven through shared space. Sometimes it shows up in boundaries, in quiet concern, in wishing someone well from a distance that feels safe. Your capacity for care isn't measured by how many people you host, but by how fully you feel. This part of you, the one that tightens at the knock on the door, that craves solitude more than small talk, it's not rare, it's just rarely spoken about. There are more people like you than you've been led to believe. People who find safety in silence, who see their space as sacred, who love quietly and from a distance. You're not cold, you're not wrong, you're just shaped differently. And if this brought you some clarity, it probably means you're the kind of person this channel was made for. You're not alone here, not even close.